Thank you, thank you. Yeah, my name is Kurta. I'm from Palo Alto Networks. For those who don't know Palo Alto Networks, we are the #1 enterprise security vendor in the world. So yeah, we have a lot of competition in this field, and therefore we are always looking forward to see the best products. And I'm very happy to be here today because perhaps you saw we are the only cybersecurity vendor today. And I also saw that we are the only booth that didn't take job offers. So sorry for that. Of course, we are hiring people all the time. So when I started at Palo Alto Networks last year, we had 10,000 employees, and now we have 14,000 employees. And therefore, of course, just apply at Palo Alto Networks. But today at this booth, no, sorry, we are not taking new hires. So I think it's exactly the opposite. So no, we are not taking your jobs. Yeah? We are trying to optimize the SOC processes and the security processes. And that's why I'm here today, to give you more spare time, yeah? To give you more time for your family and your friends, yeah, just to optimize the things that you do in your daily life. The first question is, anybody here is not native Austrian speaking, German speaking, so only English speaking? No? No English speak? No, just English speaking people here? Okay. Good. Okay, then, of course, we will do the introduction for you in English. Yes, I'm Senior System Engineer, and my part at Palo Alto Networks is mainly to help the customers to find the right solutions for their enterprises and also to secure the enterprises here in Austria. And yeah, the title of my presentation is the journey to the self-driving SOC. So what I want to show you is how we at Palo Alto Networks, how we do our SOC business. Because if you are the #1 enterprise cybersecurity vendor in the world, you have a lot of friends, but you also have a lot of targets who want to attack you. And I want to give you a little bit more insight how we do our business and how we do our cyber hygiene. And that's why I took the example of a driving car. So in the year 1956, there was a paper, a newspaper and a photo, and that's how they imagined how life in the future would be. So to drive with the car, to play a little game, chess or something else. And yeah, that's what they predicted that would be the future. I think it's a nice picture of what didn't happen. Yeah, we all have to agree that it would be nice. Yeah, some car manufacturers also show really good solutions, but they still are tracking your eyes if you look at the street and if you hold your driving wheel, because as you know, God didn't invent us to sit in the morning in the car and to drive, yeah? So it's not the way we work. And it's the same with the SOC. We have not been invented to watch log files the whole day or to inspect some threats that we get from our systems. That's not the thing that we want to do, yeah? We want to sit there and play a little game and let the machines work. And that's how I want to start the journey. So a little record of innovation. I worked at a company, and when we started the thing that was called cyber defense, yeah, we had a presentation. It started with a presentation. It was not a finished product. It was a presentation, and we called it, that's our SOC. And the SOC was established through something that was a NOC and incident management. Then we had log management. And then our NOC changed to something which we called, that's a SOC. Yeah? And we had EDR, yeah? So endpoint detection and response. And this drove us to the problem that we had the endpoint, but we didn't have the network. And that's why we pushed our solutions and we got to contact to HP and we said, hey, bring us these HP Apollon servers with these petabytes of disks. We do full packet capture because everything that wasn't captured, wasn't seen on the network, we want full packet capture. And that's why we started full packet capture, and we had to use data from third-party vendors to get a meaningful answer if the packets that we have on our full packet capture log are malicious or not. That's why we started with threat intelligence, and last but not least, our founder, Nir Suk. Most of you know him perhaps from the patent in the stateful inspection at the vendor checkpoint. There he's written in. And he said, okay, endpoint detection and response is not enough. I have a new solution, and they called it XDR. And XDR was also the foundation of new things coming, like the MITRE ATT&CK framework and something that we called XDR-based SOC. And this XDR-based SOC was developed further. And the industry had a new title, and a new product was SOA, Security Automation, Orchestration and Response. And again, our founder, Nir Suk, said, well, we can put an X in front of that, yeah? So that sounds fancy, yeah? So we did that with NG Firewall. That was great, and we really made a new Gartner quadrant for that. And also he did that with SOA, so he said, okay, SOA it's everywhere, it also has to be done in the cloud, and it has to be done on the endpoint, it has to be done on the domain controllers, and everywhere. So that's why he said XSOA. And XSOA was really the thing that also developed the SOC partners here in Austria. For example, the main SOC vendors and the SOC partners that you have in Austria, they always have, in most of the cases, our XSOA product to automate their tasks and to bring the customers an endpoint-independent SOC. Yeah? Most of the vendors and most of the SOC vendors started with pushing their endpoints to the customers. So for example, if you have an incident and you call a company Sophos, they will install the Sophos agent on your network, you can be sure. If you have another company for incident response, they will come with a different endpoint. And that's what our founder said, this is not scalable, and also in the incident response thing, you cannot have the time to deploy 10,000s of agents. So it's only possible if you do an endpoint agnostic and an endpoint independent XDR. That's what we called XSOA. And yeah, we had a new vendor which we acquired, and the vendor was Expanse, and Expanse had something that was called Attack Surface Management. So Attack Surface Management shows you the unknowns that you don't know about your company, which are available on the internet. And we also integrated that, and today, or better to say next week, because hey, spoiler alert, we are launching this product that I will show you today in next week, but I'm sure you will love it today. That's why I show it, and we call it XSAIM. Wow, that is a really tongue breaker. Yeah. So the approach of having the independent, agentless SOC together with log management, together with attack surface management, and with our own XDR client, this is our new product, which we have been working the last 4 years in stealth, which is called XM. Yeah, it's something like a CM on steroids with log management and with XDR, with attack surface management. Yeah, in Austria we call it eierlegende Wollmilchsau. Yeah, so it's launching next week, and I think it will change the industry again. So this is the next big thing after our next generation firewall. We are really putting a lot of effort into this. So have a look at this. I think it will be very interesting. And yeah, the thing that we have launched this product 1 year ago only for special customers is really, we are really proud of that, because together with these customers, we finished the product and we are launching it next week. So that's how our NOC phase looked in the past. We had a really good NOC. So we had a lot of data lake where we had our log files, and we have this small team of engineers who drove through this data lake, collected incidents and alerts. But it was not really funny, and it was doing the job, but we had to add security. But NOC is only network, so we had to pack security on this. So this was the SOC phase, yeah? So this was security and network and full packet capture blown into the whole thing. I was really proud of that. HP was really proud of us. They sold a lot of servers with us. Yeah, we had full packet capture. We had every packet on our disk, but it was really ugly and it was hard to drive, but it had 7 seats. Yeah. So that's why we said, okay, we have a new weapon. It's XDR-based SOC. We have good weapons. We have still a shitty car, but yeah, we can detect the endpoint. We can detect the malware on the network, but yeah, the car doesn't drive for itself. Yeah, and yeah, it was really hard for us, but we managed to get this, and we are entering the new era. We call it XIM, where we try to do really full self-driving capabilities into the SOC, taking all your jobs. No, not really. So we are trying to bring more spare time to you to do the automation and to automate the SOC. So what is XIM? It's the autonomous security platform for the modern SOC, a completely new solution, and it's bringing endpoint detection and response, user behavioral analytics, reporting, compliance, log management, threat intel management, orchestration, and automation into one single product. So how about our SOC? Because our status and our intention is we are eating our own dog food. Yeah. So before we even launched the product, we launched the product in our SOC, and from 36 billion events, we had 133 alerts, which came to 7 incidents, and we automated 125 of them, and we luckily had no major incidents, yeah, yet. Yeah? So there is no 100% guarantee for security, but the mean time to detect was really reduced, and the mean time to respond was to 1 minute. Yeah? What have we done with that? For example, we have an integration for major CRM systems, where we also see in which time zone the employees work. We have an integration with multi-factor authentication suites, so we can send them second factor authentications. So it's a really big ecosystem, but it is still manageable, and it is a new approach of working in the SOC. So what's the journey? The journey, of course, you can buy our products right now. So we have Cortex XDR, one of the best XDR endpoint solutions on the market, endpoint, network, cloud, and so on. We have the Cortex XSOAR, which is mainly used in SOC environments, which most of the vendors who supply SOC services in Austria use already in the background. We have Expanse, our attack surface management solution, and as next week, we will have Cortex XIM as a combination of these products. Also included is there the log management and the user behavior analytics and so on. So that means we want to automate everything. So from threat intel enrichment to vulnerability management, network security, not also our firewalls, which we are known for. So most of you know us perhaps from the firewalls. We really want to integrate all of them. And perhaps you know other log management solutions where the SOC analyst is mostly blocked in writing grok files to analyze the logs that they get and to bring them in the same structure. So I think we have a different approach. We want to learn the logs, and we want to automate the log ingestion into our system. And by the way, we are fully compatible to a vendor which is already existing in this place and begins with S. Good. So we also have the marketplace where additional products can be onboarded. Most of them are currently free, but there are also some playbooks which are paid. And yeah, we have the workflow automation engine with over hundreds of product integrations and thousands of security actions. It's a visual editor. It looks really great. And a war room where the people can meet and chat about the incidents that they have, launch new workbooks and playbooks, and it's also the documentation. Yeah. And of course, security ticketing system where all the tickets and events can be correlated. So it is also a threat intel management platform where you can have a detailed view of all your threats, and these are correlated and structured. And yeah, it's really a great way to work as a SOC analyst. Yeah, the marketplace already told you. So what are the use cases? The use cases are, of course, threat hunting, threat intelligence feeds, correlation, EDR. So all the tasks that a SOC analyst does, they are in this product. Of course, right now, we can only have a look at Cortex XSOAR, XDR, and Expanse. Next week, we have the big launch. And before the big launch, I, of course, want to show you the system that we have right now. We have right now over 800 integrations into various vendors, not only our devices that we provide, but also many network security vendors and malware analytics platforms. So also, you can start with the Community Edition. The Community Edition is a starter package where you can play with the product, where you can build your own playbooks. It is restricted in the amount of incidents that you can have, but it's a good start into the product.
And free of charge?
Yes. And now I want to go to the demo. So, I hope you can read it. So right now, what I show you is XOR. It's the automation part of our product. This will be feature ident with XIM. The only difference is that you have other features that are coming into this product. That means log management and so on. But the dashboards and the automation process is the same. So as you see, we have a lot of dashboards that are handling cost optimization. So we have something like a workforce plan where you can schedule your SOC engineers in different time zones, and you have troubleshooting instances where you can have a look at your execution errors and incident types. So let's go to an incident. So in the incident menu, you see the incidents that are coming into the system. Of course, they are enriched by different devices. So we have an integration here with Cortex XDR, email, expanse, phishing, and others. And let's look at one of the events here so that you get an info how this should look like. So you see the event, you see who is the member, who is working on that, how's the status, and you have here the work plan. That's how the work is done. So it's a playbook that triggered, and it can be worked step by step. Part of these steps are manual processes, but most of these steps are automated processes. And yeah, it's a great way to work on these incidents, and it's really easy for the SOC team and for the SOC members to work on these incidents together. Perhaps you also saw that many of the products which are on the market, like Hive or Elastic or Pro, they have changed their licensing model, and they changed that to a paid model. Yeah. For us, we have the community edition still free of charge. You can start with that, and yeah, if you want to have a look at our product, just download the community edition. I would be happy to help you. Yeah, do you have any questions about that?
You talked about user behavior analytics. How do you deal with GDPR in Europe? I mean, because at the moment you discover the endpoint.
Yeah.
And after that you want to check the user by itself. So you're, I don't know, give the user or bring the attacker to the user, not to the endpoint anymore.
Of course, we have our data lake in Germany, and we have a data lake in Amsterdam. So from the data perspective, you can of course choose where you store your data. Yeah, but in terms of GDPR, there are many things that we will have to store in our data lake. For example, in the user perspective, also the working hours of each user. So it is a really hard thing. Yeah, we are an American company. Our founder, is, I would say, very interested in fulfilling these GDPR things. But for example, we had one thing in Germany where they have this Entstörerhaftung, where we are not allowed to store SSID information of the devices of the laptops that are connected to the internet. And it's really hard to deal with these things, because as a SOC analyst, you often want to see these data. Yeah? And yeah, we can only say, okay, we are storing the data in Germany, but most of the items can be anonymized, so that you need 2 people, so Betriebsrat and administrator, to see the thing in whole. We can do pseudonymization. Pseudonymization, that means we can change the Mr. Huber to Mr. Meyer, yeah, in the GUI. But still, you are dealing with a SOC thing, and at the end of the day, you want to see the data and you want to see the usernames. Yeah.
So let's give Christian a round of applause.